Hey, Mike Burris here with Spirit Music Meetups out in one of my favorite parks near my house. Hey, just a little exercise for my students out there. And it's just learning how to use different fingers. Remember, you keep your fulcrum across from each other, your two fingers together, and then lightly put the other fingers so that it's against the palm, not down in the groove. So it looks like this. Your arm is straight, but then the stick creates the letter A. So 45-degree angle. The other stick creates the letter A. So that's what it'll look like. So when you hold we had this in one of the videos, when you hold the sticks together, the arms are straight. See how they're straight? And the fingers are together that create the fulcrum, and the fingers are lightly against the palm, against the stick, and the stick is on the fleshy part of your palm. So that's what it looks like, and you just go down. Now my drum is angled, so I really have to do this. It's angled because I set up for this. So, but it's going to be flat. Your drum is going to be flat, and you're going to just play like you're bouncing a ball. We talked about bouncing a ball, just like this. But your arms aren't like this or like that or like this. I see too many people who plays like that. You don't get any wrist motion. The wrist is stuck. You can't go any higher. The only way you can go higher is if you stay in the letter A. It's the only way you can go higher. Otherwise, you're going to have to use your arms. And yeah, you got good finger exercises, but you can't use your wrists. So what's the point of that? And so you get stuck between your legs, playing between your legs. It's so awkward. I see people doing this, using their arms, just wearing themselves out. They're going to have all kinds of physical problems later on in life. I'm 62. I don't have any of these things. Praise the Lord. That's all. Thank God Almighty. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. So, yeah, I would like to be faster, but I'm glad I don't have injuries from doing so many crazy things. You got to work with physics. So this is working with physics. Not this, not playing out here, twisting your arm, but bouncing the ball. Using your fingers, letting it work for you. Okay, so now let's talk about a finger exercise. So we talked about just letting the weight of the stick keep your stick up against your fingers, and the weight of the stick is just going to go right back on your shoulder, and you're just going to go like this. It's like that. It looks like this. It looks like you're fishing. So I'm not doing anything with my fingers. My fingers are riding along the stick, just coming back, and it's pivoting in my fulcrum, my seesaw, and it looks like a seesaw. And it's like I'm fishing. I'm throwing a fishing rod, but I'm not throwing my fingers out. My fingers are on the stick all the time, not leaving the stick at all. And they just pull back as the stick the weight of the stick pulls the stick. So I'm just learning how to do this, learning how to flow in my fulcrum, learning how to keep my fingers enough pressure together to where it just goes from the first groove. There it is in the first groove. See, I can see the second groove of my finger. I can see it. So I know it's in the first groove. But when it goes back, it goes into the second groove, and it stops there because there's a little pudgy part of my finger right here that stops it. If it goes any further, it would go into the third groove. That's too far back. It's too far back. You're going to lose your stick. That's as far as my fingers will go anyway. If I go any further into the third groove, I'm going to lose those back fingers. I'm going to lose control. And this is hyperextension. You don't need to do that. You only need to get up to here and back up to there. So you don't need to go very far. Really, only need to go up here, but I'm raising my arm too. But you don't need to raise your arm. You really shouldn't be raising your arm. So I do this a lot of times sitting on a sofa. I put my arm on the sofa. The weight of the stick takes it right back to my shoulder, and I'm just waving. I don't really want to hit my shoulder. So I'm just waving like this, and then after I go fast, I just keep my palm straight up. The weight of the stick takes it to the end of the fingers, and now I'm just waving it back into my palm. I can do this straight out like this, right? Not as much weight of the stick working it. So this finger waving is very helpful. And that's what you do on the drum. The fingers are doing all this work, hardly any wrists. Okay, this is the different grip, isn't it? So, see, I have to do a different thing, but it's still finger waving. I'm still waving my fingers, but this is for traditional grip. I'm waving these two fingers. These two are acting as kind of a bridge or rest for the stick. It's a little bit different. I think it has pros and cons for that. So you want to do this. So here's the exercise. You can do that. You can do all your fingers like this. But I like to do this too. On the drum, I'm going to do it so you can see. I'm going to exercise just the front two fingers. So it's like this. It's learning how to kind of do this with the fulcrum, like a seesaw. But I'm going to do that with my thumb sort of on the top, but not on completely on top. See, that's completely on top. I'm going to try to do it not completely on top. It's a little bit difficult. So for just two free fingers, front two fingers, I like to be sort of on top, what they call a Swiss grip. Sometimes we call French timpani, but I think they actually call it French, Swiss. So the thumb's on the top, and I'm learning how to, I don't know if you can see that, I'm learning how to do this. Letting it bounce. Let's see if I can do this. So you can see that my hands fingers are straight down. I like to just keep them straight down. Notice I pretty much have to close that grip up. It's not the same as this. You'll just find that if you try to open this up a lot, it's going to try to roll out of your hands. But see what you come up with. So you want to do that with both hands. My left hand is retarded. Try to close that gap up. Having a slanted drum is making it very difficult for me, so I'm going to straighten it out. See how much slower my left hand is? I need to work this. I usually do it until I start to lose control. Now this is the one where you can go, you would never play like this. Probably never ever play like that. Maybe you can. I don't think there's any wrists. So I'm just trying to develop a fulcrum, a really good strong fulcrum with this exercise. But you can also do it like the bouncing ball, where the wrists and the fingers are working together, and then now the problem is with that is as you go faster, this finger starts to go further down away from the fulcrum. So you really get into the second groove. Does that make sense? Because normally you would never play with just two fingers. So now it looks like that. you're into the second groove pretty much all the time, and this finger's way down here, acting kind of like a trigger. Otherwise, you're going to lose your stick. That's so you can play in the letter A. And this is very good too for developing a fulcrum. But again, you would never play in the second groove. It kind of clamps off your whole hand, makes it very tight. But it is a good exercise for developing the fulcrum and the bounce, feeling the bounce of the bouncing ball. Okay? So now you want to get in this next finger. And this is an exercise just to practice this, but you can practice that too, and you can practice that. So you can go da-da-da-da. So now I'm doing my pinky, or the fourth finger, or the third finger, fourth finger, pinky, fifth finger. None other, just the fulcrum on the front. So that's a very good exercise too. So I'm doing the pinky right now. I'm just doing the pinky. So try that. That's a very good exercise. All the individual fingers, finding the weak fingers and exercising them. And then if you're going to do this up here, you're going to just do it like that. You don't have to use your whole arm or your whole wrist. Just your fingers. Just working your fingers. Just, there's your fulcrum only. Then that finger. Then now, this is the beauty. You can go back and forth, and this is really good exercise. You can go like 4 of fulcrum. I'll just call it number 2. 2 is your forefinger, and then 3 is your middle finger, 4 is your ring finger, 5 is your pinky. So you're going to go 2. Now you can say, how many 2s? You could do this very methodically, right? So you can say, I want to do 8 number 2s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then go 8 3s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. And I went right over back to 2. But I could have gone 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. That's very good. And a lot of people developed some really, JoJo Mayer and others, I think, yeah, they've developed the ability to go between 2 and 3 really fast. Like literally 1 each. But the way to creep up on it is go 8 of something, then 7. So kind of fan, sorry about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then go to the third. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then go back to the second. See, I don't want to put this finger out here, so I'm going to stick it up underneath. And I'm like keeping my fingers together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You don't like to count to 8. Count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 in, or 1 and 2 in. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 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 in. 1. I'm just switching between 2 and 3. Now you can go smaller. 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 1 and 2 and 3. Just going back and forth between 2 and 3. Then, you want to do this on your weak side. 1 and 2 and 3 and. And then you want to go even shorter. 1 and 2 and. 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 1 and 2. I'm just doing 1 and 2 and. 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 It's like a flute player or a trumpet player or whatever. And then you would go 1 and, so I did 1 and 2 and, so I could go 1, 2, 3, like a triplet feel. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Trying to make it sound even. I was switching back and forth. 1 to 2, 1 to 2. Then see if you can go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's tricky. And then 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. That's push pull. Push with the you go push pull. Push, pull, push, pull, push, pull, push, pull, push, pull, push. That's how you develop push-pull, which is a whole nother thing. I don't want to get into that. And that's just with 2 fingers. There's guys that go really fast. I haven't developed that. Sorry, guys. New trick for an old dog. But that's actually the way Buddy Rich plays. I just do I throw grab, which is a push pull, but I use all my fingers. Push pull, push pull, push pull, push pull, push down with my thumb, push up, push down, push up, push down. It's really a fulcrum and then all the other fingers working together. So hey, I got some ideas there for you. And so maybe you guys have some other ones that'll really help people develop their technique. Put them down here on the bottom. And we'll see what we can come up with. But that's pretty good for right now. I don't want to overwhelm you. All right, God bless you. Look forward to your comments. Bye-bye.